Like 3, 2.
Oh.
Now live. Now we're live.
Coffee and Xanax right now. Okay. Sorry.
And we're jamming out some Daddy Yankee, which is Mary Darby's favorite music genre, apparently. And that's okay. She's not racist.
Whatever. I never said it was my favorite. I just like it. It's what I do. Just play dragons.
That's how you hold it down. I get it. That's how you hold it down.
Yeah.
Reparation.
Do you listen to this while you're slaying dragons?
And working at overnight.
Nice.
She's actually saying this. What game do you slay dragons in? Because I need to go buy a new game. I just hooked my Xbox back up.
The Witcher 3?
I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's dragons in that.
Yeah.
Or Dragon Age.
Yeah.
There's dragons in that.
And,
Yeah, but see, when I buy video
Skyrim?
games, I gotta hit up Best Buy's previously owned section, and so right now the ones that are like $14.99 is like Skyrim and
It's not Skyrim. Skyrim.
Is it really Skyrim? Do I say it wrong?
Yes. When you go and buy the game, ask for
Writing that
Skyrim.
down. Okay, I'm writing that down right now.
That's Elder
Skyrim.
Farthing. And then shout at him.
The Elder Shroud.
Do a shout. And then
Shroud.
Skyrim. You gotta go defeat Parthenax.
No, okay. You're talking a little too fast. I saw
There's a Horcrux in there somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
Horse and crack.
Who shall not be named.
Horse and crack. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, not whores and crack. Okay.
What? That's what.
There's
I
only
on my end.
there's only Spuma. There's not crack. Okay.
So we're here to talk about. This is a empty rant table topics of board games. That's what we're here to talk about. I see you guys talking about board games all the time. I do occasionally catch Rick's. Now I know you by Ricky, but on your videos you say Rick. What's going on there? You just kind of bounce back and forth, or?
Yeah. I go by whatever, really. So.
Okay, I didn't know if you have a preference or anything. Because when I think Rick Bacon, and that takes me back to the Great Creek days.
You know, that's actually one of the reasons why I like Rick, because he's a great man.
Yeah, everything's good. But anyways, I catch your show Let's Level Up on YouTube, and I like seeing the. Who did the intro? Did you do that intro with the sword going into the die?
No, I designed the logo, and I had a guy go and do that. He's actually the same guy who did the intro for the Watch It Played stuff, and
Okay.
really cool dude.
Nice. Now, Ricky and I, if you don't know this, Mary, Ricky and I went to high school together, and
snap.
I know him by Ricky, so I'm just gonna refer to him like that.
Sounds good, man.
And we did some animation work in desktop publishing class, whatever, high school. We just got some Dell computers and we learned how to use Flash, Macromedia, Animation Studio. I don't even know if that's the full name of it.
Yeah, all about those key points.
We and we put together this I think it was like a 3-minute animation for Model T cars for Ford. I don't remember what it was about, but that was probably what got me into animation, and that was probably one of the only times I interacted with Ricky without him, I guess, just making fun of me constantly. That was just like one time we're like, hey man, we're serious.
That's hurtful. Is that why you're so angry now?
No, I'm just saying. It's just like, we got to get this animation done, and we got to be the best fucking animation that we can do. I'm like, okay, let's do this, bro. Let's do this.
Were you the
And then-
best?
Yeah, we were. We were fucking amazing.
Good.
And as soon as it was done, it was back to Ricky just talking shit to me. So I was like, okay. It was a short-lived.
Did I really talk a bunch of shit the whole time?
That's just who you were, bro. It's
Go
okay.
in the bathroom and cry.
I can't say I was really annoying back in high school. I mean, that's just who I was. And then
Do you need a hug? Is this a cry for attention?
Yeah, I thought we were talking about board games and
we
stuff.
set up this whole podcast to talk about my feelings.
Do you want me to go get my lab coat so I can be professional?
And then
You
I
can
met
tell me.
Mary. So I met Mary at a summer. What would you refer to that as? Engineering summer
a nerdy
camp,
engineering camp.
right? It was just like set up so that we would learn math during the summer and how to do derivatives and play with Lego Mindstorms. That's
And
how I met.
logic.
That's how I
Sounds
met
dope.
Mary.
It was pretty. That was pretty legit. I science and all that.
Well, for me, it was interesting seeing that you two knew each other, because for me it was like the circle of life thing going on. Whenever I saw you guys interacting on Facebook, I was like, oh, how do they even know each other? So how did you two meet each other?
Well, honestly, I realized I don't have any of my own friends, and maybe I should find some outside of my husband. You're laughing, but I'm being for serious here. That's hurtful
Oh, I'm not
again.
laughing. I got gas. I'm sorry.
You just pooped, so shut up. And I was just like, well, where can I find friends? And I'm like, nerds. They're not judgmental. And I found San Angelo Nerdery on a Facebook page, and Ricky's like, hey, I'm doing a Call of Cthulhu game. And Daniel Poole, I don't name dropping here, I knew him, and
That's cool.
he vouched for me, and
So Daniel vouched for you and admitted you into the San Angelo Nerdery, and that's how you interacted with Ricky?
I think she was already there. I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure that she was all right before I let anybody into my home. You know.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
he and
I've
then
been burnt. I've been burnt too many times before.
oh, Jesus, we should do a podcast about that. It sounds amazing. And then
Mary would-
Ricky's wife crochets and joined my little crochet and knit meetup thing.
Okay, the knitters? The What Up Knitters?
Knit us for life, yo.
Knitters,
Knitters
for
be
life?
crazy.
Yeah.
Knitters, please.
Knit. Please.
There's a coffee shop I tutor at, and every Thursday night I try to tell the students I do not like meeting on Thursday nights because there is a cohort of knitters that just gather around, and there's so many of them. There's like 30 of them, and this is a very small coffee shop. Just think about 30 people in any Starbucks, and just gathered around. And they bring, not only do they bring their yarn and their the needles, is that what they called
Yes.
things for? But they
Yes.
also bring this huge wheel. There's this wheel thing that they're doing.
Oh
Good
yeah,
thing,
Yarn
right?
Swift. I can go get mine.
Oh no,
Nice.
they bring it there to the Starbucks, and it's just like,
Why-
okay.
I bring mine. Are you judging again?
No, I'm just like, yeah, we got plenty of room. Go ahead and bring it in, And
Is that like the thing that Rumpelstiltskin uses to make the gold?
I think that's a spinning wheel, but it's
The
just
difference?
yeah,
same thing in my eyes.
Aw.
whatever.
What's the difference?
It's used for completely different things.
Okay, like the cottagen. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a difference between a D20 and a D4. I mean,
So more sides then.
yeah.
Okay, let's explore that.
I think
What's a
I think I'm
D4,
following.
D5? Well, what are we talking about here?
It's dice.
Okay. Do they use those dice? Now, the last time I used a multi-sided dice was with Magic the Gathering. Is that the same thing? What is that? The dice
Well,
that you use?
it's a 20-sided dodecahedron, right?
There we go. I like these words. Dodecahedron.
Isn't that a 20-sided figure
don't know.
thing?
I don't know. That was the last. That's like the last of the epic dice die that I would use. But you know what? We're here to talk about board games. Now, you mentioned, Mary, that your favorite board game right now is Pandemic 2. Is there only one of them? Is there two of
Well,
them?
there's one with expansions.
Okay, so that's a good point. There's a board game that has an expansion pack to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty interesting. One thing I will say before we dive into board games, I like that board games hold down this, it's almost like analog gameplay that allow you to basically use your imagination to explore into this world. And I was really thinking about this because I've been thinking a lot about things that are handmade. My friend, he's a potter, and he makes these mugs. And at one point I was questioning him, why do you make these mugs whenever they can just be mass produced and stuff like that? But there's something about making things by hand, and that it makes a very unique experience that is provided to the user. And I feel like that's the same thing with board games, because not only do you have just like, you're not being thrown into this world that's completely animated for you, like if I got on, and nothing against video games, but there is a differentiation between the two that allows the user to experience more, I think. and that's just my opinion.
I think that kind of hits the nail on the head, and like even with any sort of creative pursuit, you know, because I don't think I'm overly creative, but things like board games and like tabletop gaming kind of give you a structure to build on if you don't want to make everything yourself. Exactly what I agree completely with what you said.
Oh, cool. I feel like I'm mostly talking out of my ass, but that's the first time somebody agrees with me. So.
Yeah, no, you brought up a very good point, man. It's also a bit more social than just kind of sitting behind your keyboard and monitor or in front of your Xbox or whatever, too.
Yeah, you actually have to wear pants to play board games with other people.
If you remember the Call of Cthulhu game, pants were optional.
Oh.
I was the only one that took advantage of that, but
we don't judge.
What's you mentioned what's that board game you just mentioned? Call it I can't say it.
Call of Cthulhu?
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's actually a role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, except for you play just a normal person, and you get thrust in this situation where these terrifying beings drive you insane. You have to try to figure out this investigation before you either die or go crazy. And generally, a lot of fun's had.
Does that have anything to do with like the Dementors?
From like the Harry Potter world?
I imagine. No. Is that the only place that Dementors exist?
Could a Dementor be actually a Legion of Cthulhu?
Yeah, it could be one of the Goths, I imagine. Because those things, they feed on your. I'm not a big Harry Potter person, so I don't know a lot about them. But from what I understand, they feed on your energy or life force or something like that. And they're things that
I've only seen the first movie, so.
But in Call of Cthulhu, there's no Expecto Patronus. You just go crazy. There's no saving throw, really.
Expecto Patronus. One time I told the customer service rep for AT&T Expecto Patronus because they just were not helping me. It was like a little live chat thing. Anyways, let's get away from the topic. Anyways.
What was your Patronus?
I don't know. Like somebody just told me that was just a reference, and so I just wrote it out on there, and I was like, "Can you just make all this go away?" And she goes, "No." And then I typed in asterisk Expecto Patronus, whatever.
So you're implying that person was a Dementor? That's kind of hateful too.
Yeah. I'm just a hateful person, apparently, to you.
Who was the customer service rep? Let's put him on blast right now.
Yeah.
I don't. It was AT&T, but I don't know their name. I don't know.
Was it that Lily girl?
Yeah.
Is that her name? The girl on the commercials?
That was most likely her.
Can we get her in here and ask her about board games?
And the complaint was that their advertising or the price that they're charging me for my bandwidth is not what I'm getting when I check it out on the internet and do the speed check. And I'm just like, what's going on here? And they just couldn't answer my question. And so it just came down to Harry Potter references, which is funny because I only read the first book and then watched the first movie. The only other way I get Harry Potter references into my mind is through people like Mary, I guess. They're just saying,
what does that mean, people like me?
People
Who are people like me?
People like you that read the books and watch the movies. Mary, tell me more about Pandemic. We already learned about. I'm gonna butcher it if I talk about it. Cthulhu.
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 There you go.
It's a Hawaiian word.
What does it mean?
Azathoth.
It means pineapple, I think, in Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a big cosmic pineapple that makes you go crazy.
With lots of tentacles.
Nice. Pinnacle. I'm writing that down.
Just like
pineapple.
in Japan.
Crazy pineapple. Got it. Nice. Okay, so Pandemic. Ricky, have you played this game, Pandemic?
Oh yeah, I played it. It's a good one.
You know what? I think this is one of the videos I watched of you. Did you give a review on this?
I think I've talked about it for sure. I don't know if I did a full review on Pandemic, but it was one of my earlier videos, I think, yeah.
Okay. Now walk me through it, Mary. How do you start playing the game, and what's the goal here?
The goal is to prevent Ebola from spreading.
Is it just Ebola, or is it really just any disease?
They're not named. There's 4 separate diseases that you have to fight against, and
nice.
There's different character cards with different abilities used to help contain the disease. And you pretty much start out, there's a game board with the world on it, and separate cities across the board, and you randomly draw to see where the viruses start out with. And there's these little tokens you put on the board that you need to get rid of, and there's rules on how to find the cure. There's rules on what happens when the virus multiplies and outbreaks happen. And you're just I guess it's the type of game that one of my favorite board games is basically co-op against the game. I mean, I'm not much of a fan of playing against other players, so that's why I really like it, because I prefer getting along with each other.
You're about unity. That's what it seems like. And, that's what I gather from this podcast and your listening, your music preferences, and now your game preferences. You're about love of the world.
It's multiculturalism. Together fighting for a common good to make the world a better place.
That's beautiful, man.
Through board gaming. Isn't that why you board game, Ricky? To make the world a better place?
No, I board game because I'm really good at it.
Oh.
No.
Good at making the world a better place.
What makes somebody good at board games? Tell me that. What's the strategy that goes on there, or do you need strategy? Is it pure luck?
Depends on each board game.
Yeah, for sure. It depends on the game. There's some games that are really heavy on luck, but there are a lot of games that have this strategy versus luck line, like a trend line that you could draw through the whole thing. Like chess. Chess is completely strategy, right? There's no luck. I make my move, you make your move, I have to do my counter to beat your counter type of thing. There's some games that involve cards, and depending on what card you draw, there's an element of luck there, or dice, depending on what you roll. It could change what you're wanting to do. So the best games to me are the ones that blend that luck and strategy line, so that a new player has a good chance to be a seasoned player, but the seasoned player still has a bit of an advantage because they know the ins and outs of how things work. But yeah, it really depends on what you're playing.
What are some of your favorite games, Ricky? We talked about Mary's being Pandemic. What would one of yours be?
I think Pandemic's a great game. I think there are a lot of really games in that co-op sphere that are really, really good, like Castle Panic's another one. My problem with co-op games, though, is that if I go to the game store and I pull out one of those games and I get 3 random people to join me, generally there's going to be somebody that's kind of running the game, and there could be alpha going on there, and making you don't let other people play, kind of you take over, which isn't fun.
Do you consider yourself an alpha male?
No, not in gaming at all. I try to be very relaxed.
Hey, man.
You just kill off the alphas first.
You take the alphas out, yeah.
Yeah.
And the betas will rise.
What kind of nerd is an alpha? We're nerds because we're not alphas. Isn't that how it works?
Is there such a thing as an alpha nerd, though? I mean...
Oh, they're there. They're there for sure. They definitely want to be the loudest and the most obnoxious. Which I guess I just described myself, so...
No, usually don't they have a social problem? I mean, they're not really alphas. They're just very loud.
Yeah. That may be the actual conditions for certain people.
Yeah, like mental disorders.
Like
some people are just jerks, though.
Yeah. So it's hard to differentiate the jerks from the people with like autism. Is that what we're trying to say?
I think there's a pretty good line there. I don't know. It's very hard to tell the difference between those two.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes I have trouble differentiating.
Out.
That's a real problem for me.
Out here.
Okay.
Nice. And
I've been in a place where I didn't know if the person was a jerk or they had Asperger's, and it was a real issue because I didn't know like whether to say screw this guy or be like maybe I need to try to understand him. Like it was weird. I don't know. Like that's become this issue in my life I'm trying to deal with. But anyways, back to board games. I don't want to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Miguel, do you need a hug?
No, I don't need hugs. No,
okay.
My wife is in her 3rd trimester. I don't need hugs.
It sounds like you need a hug, man.
Yeah, like, really.
Okay. So, what
differentiates
the board games? the board games that you guys play from board games that I like. The last board game I played was Monopoly. What would you say like is the big difference?
Great game.
Monopoly is a good game. I mean, but also I feel like that's different from the board games that I see you guys playing on a regular basis. I mean, they're just kind of like.
I don't think there's much difference. I mean, it's just different types of games.
Yeah, there's a lot of different genres in there. Sorry, Mary, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, there's not, like, with board game. I'm new to board gaming, but from what I found, there's not really a way to pinpoint what exactly is similar because there's such a wide variety of games out there.
Well, Rick, you were going to go on to say about the genres. What are some of the major genres that board games fall under?
They're kind of divided into two broad categories right now. There are Euro-style games, and then there are what they call Ameritrash. And a Euro-style game is something that people are playing, and everybody is playing for the whole time. And generally, you're competing for some sort of points. And Ameritrash games can have a wide variety of themes and whatnot, but generally there's some sort of player elimination in there, and which means once you lose, you're out of the game. But it could be a whole lot of things. So from there, it breaks down into you've got your card games, your board games, your tile placement games. You've got social deduction games. You've got games like co-op, like the Pandemic that Mary was talking about earlier. And then you got those old school like Hasbro, Milton Bradley games that are those kind of, I call them lounge games because they're what people think of when you think of board games.
Yeah,
there's a ton. I didn't even mention all of them. Yeah.
Why the name Ameritrash? Why does it go from Euro style to Ameritrash? It's like,
because the Europeans, specifically Germany, they kick-started this whole board game renaissance like 10 years ago with games like Carcassonne and games like Settlers of Catan, and they kind of started pumping out all these great games, and they pumped out like 100 games that were all really, really good. And then when America got their hands on them, we do what we do. We kind of bastardized what they had, made it our own, made it faster and better, and
democracy.
I say better.
We made it more free because America.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Settlers of Catan versus Risk. Which do you guys prefer?
I think I prefer Catan over Risk, just because Catan, one, I think it lets more people enjoy it, and it's not nearly as frustrating if you get messed over. Whereas Risk, I've heard people flipping boards and doing all kinds of crazy things.
That was me.
That was you. Oh, sorry. I
It
didn't mean
makes
to
me
out you.
so angry. I hate losing.
Well, those board games have been ones like I've always wanted to try and play, but I haven't found enough, I guess, nerdy friends to play them. Maybe I need to look for a Corpus Christi nerdery or something like that around here, because I know my wife doesn't like playing that stuff. She likes playing like the classics, like Uno, if you consider that a board game.
Uno's awesome, man.
But
You just need to be less popular.
What is it? Oh, shut up.
You're
So-
so. How are you so popular? Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh.
I mean, look, you're bringing us together when we didn't even know there was a relationship. You're like the capstone.
I am the Rosetta Stone of the nerds and the really nerds. Dude, it's storming
and the
really bad
scientists.
outside. Yeah, and the scientists. It's storming really bad right now. We're expecting a tropical storm. Is it Billy? I think it's Billy. Hey,
What kind
babe,
of
you're
what kind
on
of barometric pressure we got over there right now?
You're on the camera, babe. Babe, it's the camera.
Tell them I'm doing yoga.
Well, there's a camera. We're trying to
that-
podcast here.
Is that a
You know
lotus
what?
I see?
You know what? Pregnancy is beautiful, okay?
No, yesterday on the podcast, on the Beer Me 3 podcast, I told her the webcam was on, and she's like, okay, and then she's over there like scratching her butt on the camera, like, hey,
She's keeping it real, okay?
that's fine.
I think
fine,
the
that's
kids
fine.
call that keeping it 100.
Keep 100. I don't know
100.
why I said it like that. I shouldn't say it like that. That's
No,
just-
it's good, man.
Now, Ricky, you said that there's some kind. Or I don't know if you said it, but I saw you post something on Facebook about is it a board game convention coming to San Angelo?
Yeah, man. It's not just board games; it's card games as well. But it's generally a tabletop convention. A lady named Wanda Green of the Tom Green County Library Association has gathered a bunch of people together, and I've kind of sent some of my contacts, basically emails begging them to come to town. And so we've got a bunch of people coming from all over the board gaming industry coming into San Angelo to sell their games, talk about their games, have panels, and so we're going to have vendors there. It's going to be free for everybody, so August 15th and 16th, if you're in the San Angelo area, come out to the Tom Green County Library, the Stevens Library downtown, and come check it out. It's going to be awesome.
That sounds pretty epic. Now, you said vendors, or is that statewide or nationwide, or?
It's nationwide right now.
Okay.
I don't think we have any of the big Euro guys coming out. I don't know too many of them personally, but we got guys coming out from Arcane Wonders and the guys from Fireside Games, which are in Dallas and Austin respectively. And then some other people who are demoing for some of the bigger companies are going to be there, and they're licensed demoers. So there's going to be a lot of free games to play, some games to potentially win, and then a ton to buy as well. So it'll be good.
Miguel, are you coming?
I'll put it down. I think. Wait.
That baby time, huh?
When's our baby due? Oh, July 20th. Yeah, that's enough time, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll be on like paternity leave by then. We good. We good. I'm gonna use some of that paternity
I know
leave for
all
good.
about children.
Oh.
Not really.
Silence.
If worse comes to worse, Mary will just watch the kid for a little while.
Yeah, and I'll
There you go.
hide in fear in fetal position.
She's gonna be calling me like 5 minutes in. Come get your kid. Be like, I'm sorry. I don't know. You were just
No,
supposed to
I'll
watch.
just leave it with the husband, and he can take care of kiddo. And
So
I'll
what
go
is-
to the gaming convention.
What's the last game that you two played together? Have y'all played a board game together? I imagine, right?
Was it Alien Encounters?
Oh God,
Alien Encounters.
that
The
game.
game's so good, man.
No,
How does
we
it start
lost.
Walk me through this.
awful.
How does Alien Encounters start off? Do I pick a piece, or
It's
do I
actually
get like a thimble?
it's a card game, and it's you know the movie Alien, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a deck building game, which means that you start out with a small deck of cards, and then you buy cards throughout the game, and you get a larger deck that give you more abilities. Well, in the Alien version of this game, you've actually got to explore the spaceship to complete these different objectives. And it starts out by answering the SOS of the Nostromo, and then an alien gets loose, and you're trying to corner it down, and then finally the alien grows to a big size, and you've got to shoot it out the airlock, like the movie does.
Nice.
And it's just so vicious because you get like face huggers on you, and then after a turn, like if you don't kill them and it goes back to your turn, the face hugger basically goes away, but you've got the egg inside you, and then from there you get your next turn you immediately die, and you get this chest burster card. It's just you all dead. It's so sweet. It's super difficult, and I think what did Mary say after the end of that last game? I don't think I've ever heard her cuss like that, but she was all red and she was just super pissed.
I get so I want to win, and we tried beating that damn thing 3 times. It made me so mad.
Yeah.
Now, somebody like me that doesn't have a lot of experience, if I went to go buy that board game, which raised another good question, but we'll get to that. Now, would I be able to just jump into it playing, or do I need is there like a whole thing of like instructions I need to read through before?
Yeah, you can read it or watch it. So you can go on YouTube and pretty much type how to, and then do brain science and brain surgery if you need to. But there's a lot of board game videos out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
plus you're a scientist, so that means you're wicked smart and you can do anything.
I'll
guy.
play the game again because I want to beat it. It's like mocking
Next time
me.
I'm in town, I'm going to see if I can arrange a time where we all meet. and maybe we
I'll
can
call
play.
into work. I don't even care.
I can't come in.
People can save their own lives.
So
Stupid
when you were
game.
playing Alien, Mary, were you one of the first ones out? I imagine it's an elimination game. Is that what's going on there?
I think she stuck. I think you were the last one because you won a game for being the last one, right?
It's just a haze of loss to me that we didn't win, and it made me mad. I don't remember the individual things. I just know it pissed me off so bad.
Now, do your spouses, do they also partake in board gaming?
Yeah, the husband and I play, like, we played Elder Sign, which is another Call of Cthulhu game, and I think I'm more into it than him because he's more popular than I am.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm sensing some judgment again.
Okay. You know,
This
I'm
is
all
a
full of
safe
judgment.
place.
Blame Ricky. He created all these problems for me back in high school. Okay.
Oh wait. I don't even really remember high school very much, but I get all these people all the time telling me what a giant dick I was.
Yep.
I thought
Yeah,
I
you
was
were a dick. No, bro, you were a dick. I'm sorry, but
What?
you know, you're the type of dick that was like, "Hey, I'm making fun of you, but hey, it's funny, right?" You know, it's just like one of those things. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is funny."
I mean, was I
Maybe.
just working bits at the time? Because that was
I guess I don't know. Maybe
I
that's
don't
kind
even
of.
know you anymore. I thought you were a nice person.
no, I'm the bad guy. You got to remember that.
Okay, well, I'll kill you first in the next game.
Sounds good.
Nah,
Okay.
nah. Ricky was a good guy. It's just I think there's a age difference there, and that I don't know. I don't know.
When I was a
Fuck it,
senior,
it
what
doesn't
were,
matter.
were you a freshman?
I don't know. What year did you graduate? I graduated in 2004. You graduated, I think, in 2006.
2002.
What? Oh, yeah. Other way around. Sorry. So, yeah. 2-year difference. Yeah, it was just a 2-year difference. Man. Just, hey, Ricky and I were in First Act. Is that what it was?
One act?
One Act. There we go.
Like, y'all were thespians?
You were in one act?
I was a king, and I had to do this beard. You know, which is funny because I can't grow facial hair.
I'll crochet you a beard beanie.
And I had to take this like sponge and put this like beard on myself. And Ricky wasn't. I don't think he was an actor. I don't remember him being an actor.
Drag kinged it up.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I guess I could say. Yeah, but Ricky was just like the guy in the back, like handling props and stuff like that.
Like,
I don't remember you acting,
techie?
Ricky. Did you act?
Yeah, I did a couple plays, but I did a lot of the tech work too. So I don't know. Which play was that?
The one I'm thinking about is there was a king and a queen, and it was like a winter. It was like the Snow Queen. I think that's what it was called.
Oh yeah.
Like
Sort of
Narnia?
Kinda. I don't know. I vaguely remember it.
Were
I
you
just remember
Mr. Tumnus?
I was a king. I just remember being a king and I had to wear like pantaloons
So you were Mr. Tumnus.
and this like really weird shirt that didn't fit because I'm fairly obese and the clothes.
Oh, I thought you were
had.
like swole and hulked out.
No, I mean.
Oh.
No, I mean all this like right here was just like really snug. It's just like a really snug region, and I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Because of
None
your
of this matters.
six-pack?
I wish I had a six-pack.
Yeah, Snow
That'd
Queen
be-
was fun, man.
Yeah. Another memory that comes to mind with the Snow Queen is Bevan was shooting. It was like air. He was trying to make it snow, so he was shooting these like. No. He wasn't shooting anything. That was one of his plans, but he just threw all this shredded paper on top of this huge like industrial fan. Or I think all you guys, Jacobs was there too, and it just like started going everywhere. It just looked like it was snowing. I was like, "This is an epic scene right now, guys. This scene is epic." But anyways, Mary, were you a thespian? Did you participate?
God, no.
Oh,
No, not that is a bad thing.
Who's judging now?
That was very judgy.
what happened to the unity of love? Reggaeton.
Can I speak? It's
Gasolina.
because I was
One
solidarity, brother. I was too awkward and painfully shy to ever do anything like that in high school.
I could see that.
Yeah, I wore a lot of dark clothes and eyeliner in high school.
So
As
did I.
opposed to now, or
I'm not. Am I wearing eyeliner?
He's invisible eyeliner.
yeah, I guess not. I guess
Okay,
not.
yeah.
Okay. No, I can't see it. No.
I
No.
just like I thought
Who cares?
people
Who
were.
cares?
I was
We're out of high school. Who cares? We're out of high school. Look where we're at now, right?
You know what?
Talking
I'm gonna
about board
relive
games.
high school.
If you had told me back in 2004 that I'd be on a podcast with Mary and Ricky, it'd just be like, yeah, shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. But
You're
here
like,
we are.
Ricky, that dude that was a dick to me all the time? No thanks.
That guy that was a dick to me like 75% of the time in high school, the other 25%,
He's so
And then-
nice now.
and then like 15% of that was in animation class, and then the other 10% of that was in thespian class. Or
See, the thing that really bums me out about this, Miguel, is that I don't remember any of that crap, man. Like I don't
Did you
remember
do a lot
ever.
of drugs?
No, no. I mean, I did a little, but not a lot. And I don't remember really ever engaging with you. Like I remember talking to you on Facebook, like, oh, Miguel's really funny, and then that's like how I know you is through Facebook, really.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought because I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I have a really good memory, and most of the people I interact with in my lifetime, I remember most of my interaction with them. Like even with Mary, it was that summer, and then Mary and I had physics together. I think that was the only class we had in college together. And It wasn't even physics; it was physics lab.
Yes.
And in that class, I hated that lab, but that was the only other time I remember seeing you around, Mary. Because I mean, outside of that, we didn't really interact. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters. I'm gonna try and make it.
No, we're here now. It's okay.
I want.
I want to try to work through these problems right now because I think Miguel's got a lot of bad energy stored up in him.
I really think he needs
and
a
something
hug.
tells me that I've done something to him in the past.
This is just really good for me freeing. This turned into a therapy session. I feel I could just
let's
lay down right here. That'd be
let's
really
stop
nice.
talking about board games and work through this.
Okay. My seat doesn't recline. That'd be nice. But anyways, board games. Now, as the novice that I am, where would I go to buy a board game right now? Like, where could I go? I mean, do you guys have a specialty shop there, or can I go to Toys R Us and buy these board games?
I'm sure Toys R Us will have them. Walmart's got some. Hastings have got some. But really, where you should go are the they call them FLGSs online. If you ever see that acronym, and that stands for Friendly Local Game Store. So basically, these little brick and mortar shops, and they've got nerdy, helpful people in there. Hopefully, that will show you how to play the games, give you recommendations, maybe help you find a good genre of game that fits your personality and your play style.
I like this. I like the concept of board game, but outside of that, I feel like it's weird to say it, but almost like this family you're being, introduced to. And like if I went to go buy a vaporizer, I'd want to look at want to pick out the juice that is custom to my palate. And here it's like a board game that's custom to me. I like this, but.
That may be the first ever correlation between vaping and board games that I've ever heard.
Oh, well, excellent.
Miguel's going to do it at the same time, so I mean.
You know what? Laura made me do away with my vaporizer, but ever since then, my blood pressure has been excellent. I will say that. So.
Since you stopped?
Yeah, since I stopped.
Since Laura yelled at you?
I was at
your blood pressure's been great?
22/70. It might be. Oh, I didn't even think about that. It might just be her yelling at me.
What's your lipid profile like and your glucose levels?
Oh, everything else is excellent. Everything on me is excellent, but I do have ADHD and I take pills for that, so that raises my heart rate, but also increases my blood pressure, which doesn't pair good with nicotine. So
you scientists are so cute.
But
you're pretty cute yourself.
Oh. Hey man, we're all scientists. You were a scientist when you first started board gaming because you were exploring this new world that I'm sure you didn't hear much about, but now you're like an expert. You're an expert scientist about board gaming. So
I just sell drugs.
Everybody essentially is just a board game.
Yeah, but you're like the real deal, aren't you? You're wicked smart.
Okay, I don't think I'm wicked smart. I think we're all smart in our own way. As Socrates one pointed out that we all have the knowledge within our head. We just have not been introduced to it. So, there.
I like that name drop.
Yeah, some of us quote Socrates and some of us tell dick and fart jokes.
And some of us do both.
I appreciate a good dick and fart joke, though. Do we have a good dick and fart joke lined up?
Dick butt.
Dick butt?
That's a go-to.
Dick butt.
Dick butt. Oh, and I'm trying to censor myself because I was really upset I might have offended people.
About what?
What'd you do?
About liking Daddy Yankee?
Is this when you
the Minecraft
group
scarf
on Facebook?
The ISIS group? No, I just wanted to understand.
Do you guys play Minecraft?
Oh.
I have.
Yeah?
It makes me mad because I build this beautiful structure, and a creeper destroys it, and then I quit.
Mary, do you rage a lot?
In my mind, but I don't like go punch my cat or anything like that. But
Have you ever punched your dog?
no, because they're adorable.
Thank God.
If you had to
Those
punch
might-
the dog or the cat, what would it be?
We're gonna have to
The
report
cat.
abuse.
I don't like the cat.
um,
The cat
What were we
goes and vomits everywhere.
What were we talking about before we deviated between dogs and cat
I think
punching?
we're talking about Miguel needing a
Oh.
hug.
No, Minecraft. So
Oh.
Microsoft just introduced. What is their Oculus
HoloLens.
Rift thing? What is it?
HoloLens.
Yeah. So I've only tried. I went to this little convention and it was for water quality, but
Nerd.
I was wearing an Oculus Rift and we were walking around the engineers' plans for this new plant, and so you got to like look around and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have experienced either an Oculus Rift or Microsoft's version of the Oculus Rift. That's what I'm going to call it. The Microsoft Oculus Rift.
Am I bad that I don't even know what that is?
Well, the HoloLens allows you to play.
Holograms.
What I see Yeah, it just basically lets you see it like you're looking at it in your living room. You're just building off of like your couch. You build a castle or something. I don't know, some kind of structure.
Yeah, it
just-
produces like a 3D image. It's like a hologram, holodeck thing from Star Wars.
Like Star
Trek.
Wars?
Star Trek.
But what about the Princess Leia? Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That was a
That-
hologram. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
That has to do with like
So
Tupac, right?
it turns you into
Tupac?
R2-D2?
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see Tupac's concert on my HoloLens, man. Oh, that's gonna
On my
be
couch.
incredible. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just me and Pac like playing Xbox together, dude. That'd be so cool. He
There's
What
a-
do you think?
who posted
What
this?
Yo,
do you
mad,
think-
mad now. Yeah.
What do you think
No, you-
Tupac's favorite board game would be?
What?
Oh,
Board
What's-
game.
If Tupac would play a board game, what would it be?
it's got to be Monopoly.
Okay.
That's the only board game I've played with my family.
Did it cause feuds?
You know what? It caused feuds when we were like at the ages of 10, 8, and 6. Like it was like a big thing, and my dad just banned it from the house. And now that we're 29, 27, and 26, me and my two sisters, we played it this past Thanksgiving or something like that, and we made it all the way through, but the one that was acting like a bigger kid this time was my dad, and he was just like, "In your face, you're bankrupt." I was like, "Oh, okay, Dad, chill the fuck out."
Such a capitalist. Jeez.
Yeah. I was like, "Man, what's going on with you, man?"
Well,
Trying to shove it in
we
her
play
face.
Cards Against Humanity to initiate my sister's new boyfriends. It's like if you can hang and play this game and not be offended, you can hang out with our family.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of other. Right now, sitting on my little thing here, I have Cranium. I don't know if you guys play Cranium. Cranium was like one of those like outside of the box board games that I remember playing.
I really like that game.
And it's just kind of like, do this, sing this, mold this, draw this. It's like, oh, cool.
Mid this, yes please.
I'm trying to think of board games that I had in our. We had Trivia Pursuit, like the original one, in our closet. And I remember we couldn't play it because we were too young, and I didn't know, one, how to read, but also, two, when my mom was reading the facts or the questions, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it just didn't work out.
I
It's
just
not
hated
at that
that there's a sports section because I don't know anything about sports and
But isn't it sports and leisure?
sports and leisure. Yes, but I just played video games. Didn't coincide very well with that category.
You weren't out in the badminton yard or court or whatever it's called?
No, I just was in marching band.
Hey, well, you know what? I've had a really
What?
fun time talking about board
You're
games.
cutting us off?
No, not to cutting you off. We're just, at some point.
He just
you
gave
know,
us one of these.
He's just like, God, they're boring.
Wrap it up,
Let's
wrap it up."
stop this right now.
No, it's not about
Nerds.
you being boring or anything. It's just that. I mean, what else did you want to talk about, Mary? Go ahead. You have the floor.
I think you're the one that needs to talk things out more. What I've learned from this session.
Gosh.
Yeah, I
over
think
it.
so, man.
I'm past it, man. And honestly, the only reason I brought it up is because I thought you remembered. I didn't realize you didn't remember. It just makes this like awkward.
Does it make it worse? You're like, he's like, that son of a bitch doesn't remember the hell he put me through.
One, it kind of not that it makes it worse. It just makes it awkward for me because I'm like, dude, what the hell is real in my life then? You know, it's just like this whole time I thought that was real, but obviously maybe that.
I mean, your pain is very real, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know what? Let me say this. For anybody who hears this, if
Don't
I
do
was
this.
ever a jerk to you,
Don't do this.
I
Don't do this
I
right
don't. I just don't care. So there it is. If we're cool now, we're cool.
We're cool and we'll always be cool. That's all that
Y'all
matters.
should probably play the Aliens board game together and win it. Then
Yeah, I
all
wanna-
your
Oh.
everything will be water under the bridge.
Yeah, like I said, I wanna get on that and experience it, learn it.
When's
And,
the next time you're in town? August 15th?
Actually, I'm on my
I think I'll be in town. Not in winter. When we gonna be in town next? Oh, not for like 3 months, dog. Cause we having a baby. Baby. Hey, Mary, do you listen to this song?
I don't think this is reggaeton.
I put Mix Reggaeton Mix 2015 Volume 1 HD Daddy Yankee Don Omar.
Oh, that's the one I was just
Romeo
listening
Santos.
to.
I mean, there's reggaeton on it. I don't know what you want me to do.
I only know Daddy Yankee. I'm a poser. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm gonna come clean.
Hey guys, I really appreciate you guys joining me for. I like doing these table topics. I kind of do them randomly. This one was about board games. Honestly, I've just seen you guys. I've seen you repost about board games, and it's always been of interest to me. But something now that I have more of an interest, and I even have some titles to go off of that I wrote down that I want to check out and see maybe I can find a Corpus Christi nerdery around town. But I think it'd be cool if we did this next month sometime and talk about more about board games, and maybe y'all can invite some of your board game friends, maybe from the nerdery. I don't know.
I think that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, guys.
And we could talk more about your past.
Okay. You know what? I shouldn't have brought anything up
next
because
time.
I thought it was going to be funnier than what it was, and it turned out to be this awkward Miguel needs therapy moment, and
Miguel, I think it's hilarious.
now I regret ever saying anything about my life and inviting you into my lives at all.
Well, you and Bevan could just slam me for days, man, because I'm sure between the two of you, it's going to make me sound like Hitler.
I hope Hurricane Billy just wipes me out tonight and I don't have to relive any of these moments again.
Hey, man, learn to swim.
All right, guys. Any last comments, Ricky?
No, be awesome, play more games.
And the convention. Those of y'all that are in the San Angelo area, I keep calling it a convention, but you called it a game board.
No,
table-
it is a convention. It's the first ever
Okay.
annual West Texas Tabletop Con.
Nice, and that's August 15th, right?
August 15th, starting at 10 a.m. at the Stevens Center Library. Jeez.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How about you, Mary?
Just make good choices, please.
Last comments, Mary.
Make good choices.
Make good choices. That's
Yeah.
what you're going out with. That?
It's
Yeah.
it's good advice.
It's kind of her style.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. I mean, that's something
Are you-
my mom and
Are you judging my
grandma.
motto?
literally everybody has told me in my life. Make good choices. Thanks.
Hey Miguel, Tomas
Thanks for
buenas
giving me the most generic
decisiones.
last comment ever.
Okay, Tomas
Here's
buenas
one.
decisiones.
Here's another one. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you.
Okay, you know what? Play board games because it's fun and awesome, and don't make good choices.
Mary, I love you. This has been a fun podcast. All right.
It's been amazing.
And we are